picture. It's actually
This was an ugly week of football, wasn't it? I get it, not everything can be perfect, but that doesn't mean that finding a quality streaming service is going to break the bank. With FuboTV, the sponsor of this video, you can get the finest of sports content delivered to your home for about half the price of cable. We're talking all of the major networks, the 4 major sports league channels, ESPN and FS1, international sports channels, NFL Red Zone for that Sunday football binging. Over 100 channels in total. You can record your favorite games and watch them from any device with FuboTV's Cloud TVR. Select games are even available in 4K. If I'm out of the house and need a quick option to watch sports, I'll just throw on FuboTV on my cell phone or another television and not miss a minute of the action. It works especially when you have relatives that don't have cable. Absolute lifesaver. It only takes 2 minutes to sign up, and if you're not satisfied with it after the trial period, you can cancel your subscription without any catches or gotchas. You can, however, get 15% off your first month by going to FuboTV.com/Utree. Millions are cutting the cord and more are on the way. But you don't have to miss out on what cable can offer. FuboTV can help you out there. Now on to the feature presentation. It's one thing to be a team that's just terrible, but to be the Denver Broncos? That's a level of trash all its own. The Browns were dead men walking after last week's obliteration. Injured men as far as the eye could see, yet Denver was limp-dicked. They lost to a goddamn scout team. It was the equivalent of facing Jacksonville, for crying out loud. Cleveland was ripe for a bullet in its head, and you not only let them survive, but Case Keenum had his revenge. I'd beat the dead horse further, but like the Bronco offense, I threw a check down on a 3rd and long and now have to punt this segment away. How do you get owned so badly by Dearness Johnson? This week's festivities coincide with National Tight Ends Day. And we all know Belichick loves his tight ends, particularly the young quarterbacks on opposing teams. With his cunning and brute force, he will turn them all into wide receivers. The New York Jets are the poor girl in the street corner. They're just fucked. Doesn't matter by how or who. It's pure raw dogging by some sick fuck hanging out by a park bench drinking out of a paper bag. All for a few measly cents to hopefully have a place to sleep for the night. It's a tragic existence, but it's their own damn fault for it. Years of self-destructive behavior have made the Jets into the Jets. No matter what they get their hands on, they will ruin. And this includes Zach Wilson. Their first great success in years. Setting the land speed record for killing a top prospect. I knew Wilson was a dead man walking here, but it's not even November. How the hell did they do that? Another victim of Belichick's human trafficking scheme at Foxborough. Can someone find emails of Woody Johnson saying Roger Goodell's a bitch? It's the only way he's gonna be forced to leave. Any shred of hope that Carolina Panthers fans had at the start of the season is officially gone. These past 3 weeks have confirmed that it was all a mirage. Sam Darnold's salvation from the Jets, any semblance of a running game without CMC, the stout team defense when given time to breathe. All as fraudulent as Enron's financial statements. This offense is so bad. I have no idea how this team manages to take a piss standing up. Knowing how this team plays, it all end up on the fucking floor. Would you rather me regale you that all of the Giants' talent is injured to shit? The best receiver on either team is Danny Derps. There were those of us that thought Darnold would do better this season. I was one of them. With his benching for PJ Walker, I look like a fucking idiot. Yes, I know that's near weekly. Let me pretend that I have some semblance of intelligence. Maybe the Panthers might have some left after 4 straight terrible losses. Their fans are so desperate they're pleading for the gimp's shoulder of Cam Newton. That's when you know things are bad. Welcome to Lambeau, where dreams are shattered and the drink flows because there's nothing better to do up there for over 40 weeks of the year. Yes, Green Bay may be cruising heading into the second half against the Washington Emails, but Taylor Heineke grew up a Packers fan. He models his game after Brett Favre. His dream was to one day do the hallowed Lambeau Leap, and his wish was granted. Down by 7 on the opposing team. One quick lesson, Taylor. If you're gonna do that, make sure you're in the fucking end zone beforehand. New NFL rules say that Heineke was giving himself up, and as a result was down before he crossed the goal line. Fucking hilarious. For the second time in the day, Washington came up like Favre on most comeback drives. Just short. The Packers may have won the game easily, but Taylor Heineke wins something greater. Lol cow of the week, Consider the Lambeau Leap part of a Make-A-Wish campaign. If you're going to be shocked that the Kansas City Chiefs are the purest of shit against a legitimate opponent coming off a statement win, say nothing. Were you paying attention to their games at all this season? If you had, you know that the Chiefs just imitated nearly every other botched performance of theirs this season. Patrick Mahomes is slowly morphing into Pat Pick Mablomes. He's getting far too cocky with his play. It's resulting in a famous Jameis Bakery impression. The rest of the offensive talent has taken a step back. And the defense? What defense? The shit they're putting out there is supposed to be a defense? Thought that was a placeholder for the real thing to be delivered in a few weeks. Tennessee was riding momentum and solidified it with a totalitarian boot stomping. What they just did was make a mockery of the NFL's so-called king. Kansas City can't rely on elite talent when that talent is bogged down by annoying family members, arrogance, or a lack of fresh blood. The Titans just took advantage of it. When's the Chiefs' wake-up call coming? It needs to happen quick. Look at the wreckage, you ignorant pricks! Look at it! In their leveling up process, the Bengals chose a unique perk for their skill set. The art of detection. They can sniff out a team ripe for defeat for miles. Cincy has the scent. It's Baltimore. Fun mystery box of Lamar and more Lamar coming off an ass-whooping of the Chargers. Good news, Ravens. It's now your turn. If there was ever a statement win for the Bengals, it's this one. In arguably their biggest game since Vontaze and Pac-Man self-destructed on the field, the Bungles unbungled. They put the world on notice with this game. I thought the Bengals were foolish for drafting Chase over Sewell. Now Chase is putting up numbers rivaling his former teammate Justin Jefferson last year. Joe Burrow is alive and thriving. Baltimore was unable to keep up offensively. Can't believe I'm saying this, but Cincinnati now holds the AFC North Division lead. This is a sign of the apocalypse. I now await the inevitable heat death of the earth due to their unprecedented success. The Bengals seriously are legit, though. It's been roughly 10 games where Tua Tagovailoa has started in the NFL. It does not matter. The Dolphins are desperate for their new savior. Trading for Deshaun may be a Hail Mary pass to save people's jobs and could result in long-term damage to the organization, but I need to ask this, Miami. Can Deshaun block or play defense? Tua may be what people call limited, but he's not even the biggest problem on the fucking offense. What is he supposed to do when the Atlanta Falcons are apparently giving this coaching staff and defensive scheme fits? Yes, Kyle Pitts is really good, but how come they're allowing him to make things way too easy? Hold on, right, Tua threw a couple of really bad picks, so that means he's going to have to go into witness protection for his own safety. Miami's gonna turn that poor fucker into a belly dancer. But before that, he helps to allow Atlanta to deal with the tradition of falconing late in games. It's an ancient ritual so honored you'd think it was Passover. Another blown double-digit lead? Jesus Christ, what did I tell you about your addictions earlier? You're seriously gonna have me believe that the Falcons are going to march down the field thanks to the Dolphins' shitty defense and win? Atlanta did make it to the World Series, however. It is in the realm of possibility, and Younghoe Koo is automatic.
Younghoe Koo for the Falcons victory, and
How in the hell do you out-Falcon the Falcons? Miami's now 1-6 with the season all but over. But don't worry about the shitty defense and O-line. Deshaun Roethlisberger is going to massage out a happy ending for you boys. He dealt with the same shit in Houston. J.J. Watt and DeAndre Hopkins get a chance at vengeance. The Houston Texans are heading into town, battered and weakened from the terrible reign of Bill O'Brien. The only thing that would make this more bittersweet for those two is if the butt-chin was dragged to this spot and shot for his transgressions. They probably will accept the utter devastation of an already devastated franchise, though. Arizona's so relentless they might even add another butt-chin to go along with a bombed-out shell of a team in their wake. Cardinal raids continue throughout the night, and their undefeated quest continues on without breaking a sweat. The only souvenir of such slaughter is a scorigami token placed on a pile of skulls. It's one of the very few benefits of playing this game. Matt Nagy and the Chicago Bears saw how fast the Jets had destroyed Zach Wilson and need to keep pace if they want to break records. I wasn't a fan of Justin Fields coming out of college, but the Bears have done him no favors whatsoever. It's one thing to force him to play teams he's not ready to go against, but they're not even trying to cater to his strengths. They're trying to force him into the same pigeonhole as they did Dalton, Foles, and Trubisky. With every bad line protection to rushed passes to giving him fucking misinformation about the opposing team, they destroy his confidence. Tampa Bay's secondary is fucked to hell and back with injuries, and they still had a field day against this worthless offense. Tom Brady just had to sit there and scratch his ass most of the game, and collect his 600th career touchdown in the process. That's how ugly this game got. Fields is now realizing a cold truth. The Bears are where quarterbacks go to die, and he's the next victim. Is it just me, or have the Raiders somehow gotten better without the shackles of John Gruden holding them back? Amazing how that works. It's almost as if the Gruden-Mayock era was masking the potential of what Vegas could truly be. I don't know if Rich Bisaccia is the right guy moving forward, but he seems to have the benefit of not being John Gruden. Normally, Las Vegas would have probably lost the last 2 weeks, but the Raiders continue their rally cry after Emailgate and shoot down an endangered species. That being the remnants of Philadelphia's pride. Nobody really gives a shit about the Eagles, though. Not even the executive brass. Howie Roseman might have 3 potential top 10 picks next year. This foresight calls for celebration. He's gonna snort a line of cocaine in a luxury suite and hook up with a cute Puerto Rican chick. He's daring maybe 2 of them at the same time. What kind of blackmail is Rosen holding on Jeffrey Lurie for him to keep his job after all these years? Matthew Stafford being visited by the uncle that tormented him for years. Detroit forced him to rot away under terrible ownership and shitty coaching, and now he gets his chance at revenge. Little did he realize that the Lions had their own tricks up their sleeve. They can't compete with the Rams in an open field, so Dan Campbell must rely on guerrilla tactics to stay afloat in this game. Onside kicks in the first quarter, fake punts, going for it endlessly on 4th down. There is no other way for them to win. And Campbell is a man that will do anything for his first as a coach. His team plays hard for him, there's no denying it, but that's all they have. Despite everything they've done, Detroit can't gain control, but is within striking distance. They're only down 1 score. All they need is for Jared Goff to do something against his former team. And now you see why they traded him. Jared Goff has now become Jared Goof. The Rams take the lead on the back of Stafford, and Jared Goof, well, he makes Dan Campbell cry again. The Rams win, Matthew Stafford gets his bittersweet revenge, and the Lions continue their quest to be the best winless team ever. Despite how shitty the year is on the surface, this is unironically the best season the Lions have had in years. Sad but true. The NFL cares for nothing but the almighty dollar. Do you think they give a shit about the bomb cyclone that's pelting Santa Clara with rain? Of course not! The earth hasn't been blown to pieces yet, they need to make money, the Colts and 49ers are going out onto the field. It was an absolutely terrible football game to anyone who witnessed it, but they played. This match was both incredibly painful yet absolutely enjoyable to watch. Who knew that playing in heavy rain and wind would cause a metric ton of unforced errors from both sides? In prime time, we get to see such incredible feats of athleticism like Carson Wentz doing the same shit he did against the Rams earlier this year. Brendan Ayuk trying out for Manchester United by kicking a football into his own end zone for a touchback. And fumbles and drops galore. Somehow this game was finished despite everything thrown in its wake, therefore confirming the superiority of the NFL against all elements. No, it's not the Colts that won this game, it's the Shield itself. Football defies all gods in its quest for government greed. Indianapolis winning is merely a side effect of it. Now may we never speak of this shit show again. Is this game even worth playing? It evolved into such a gigantic ball of nothing that it felt like I was eating chips with Olestra. Empty calorie, void of flavor, and leaves you with nothing but instant stomach pain and regret. You look at the score and think, wow, what a defensive battle, but don't. Both offenses were just sheer garbage. New Orleans overthrew everything and Seattle couldn't even throw a towel 5 yards without getting a coverage sack. All that happened of note was DK Metcalf having a long touchdown in beast mode saying fuck on national television. Could have had a blank screen for 58 minutes and had the same result. Under the assistance of officials, because neither offense could do shit, the Saints were guided to water. And being the thirsty horse they are, they managed to drink. New Orleans is now 4-2, but I'm still skeptical about them. The Seahawks are really terrible without Russell Wilson bailing them out every week. Football is a brutal game. May the bell toll for the fallen.
Unit lost.
Unit lost.
Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Thus concludes another week of this sermon on the field. Amen.
Protect that ball. Protect it. Oh, what the fuck? I mean,
I don't think. Did not look good.